The Toronto Maple Leafs have finally made their decision. Connor Carrick is out. He was traded over to the Dallas Stars in exchange for a conditional 7th-round pick. It becomes a 6th-round pick if Connor Carrick plays 50 games with the Dallas Stars in this upcoming season. This is a trade that a lot of people didn't really expect. They expected somebody to be out, they expected Carrick to go on waivers or some form, but a trade to actually get a draft pick back, this is not what people were expecting, and honestly, I think it's pretty fair. I think it's a good deal for the Leafs, and obviously, seeing as people thought that Carrick was going to be the odd man out anyway, people kind of thought that Carrick was going to be the one getting sent down on waivers and maybe being claimed, maybe not. Having a draft pick out of this, fantastic. A1 deal, win. Automatic win, because Carrick was a guy that they weren't going to use, a guy who's played like 150-something NHL games, so he's not really a guy to be considered a youngin'. I know he is 24, but he hasn't really done all that much to prove that he belongs in the Leafs' defensive core going into next season. He spent the last 2 years playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs on the main squad. He spent a lot of other times with the Washington Capitals organization, the Hershey Bears. He's split a lot of NHL and AHL time between the Washington Capitals and Toronto Maple Leafs organizations as well as their farm teams. So going into the Dallas Stars organization, Carrick honestly has all the momentum in the world. He was in kind of a precarious spot with the Leafs and their organization and their fan base and everything, but all things must come to an end, and now he will be competing with guys like Heiskanen, Methot, Honka, and, well, not Klingberg, let's say Esa Lindell as well, 4 roster spots. If he gets sent down to the Texas Stars, he will need to be placed on waivers again, wherein, somebody's probably going to claim him, and they're not going to send down a guy who they just gave up a draft pick for. That's kind of dumb. But Carrick is now in a position where he's pretty much got a future with the NHL, at least for this year, because as I said, it would be kind of weird if they exposed the guy that they just traded for to waivers. We all kind of saw it coming, didn't we? The Leafs, Carrick wasn't really the guy who definitely stood out amongst the rest and proved to all of us fans and the management themselves that, yeah, he was the guy to fill in those last little cracks of the Leafs' decor. And people could be a little bit frustrated. Oh, the return, what is it, a 7th conditional? First off, this is better than waivers. This is better than losing him for nothing. Secondly, Connor Carrick was a guy who couldn't crack the Leafs' decor. I don't want to say the Leafs have a bad decor, but the Leafs had their main top 4 guys, Riley Gardner, Zaitsev Hainsey, and 2 other spots to fill. Carrick is a guy who could have stepped in and been that final piece, but the Leafs are in a position where their defensive core, it's not really the best that it could be. So, players coming in like Hall and Rosen and Ozhiganov and Dermott, these guys all had opportunities to be the ones who made the team. And Carrick didn't suffice. He wasn't in a position where everyone was like, yeah, no, he's the good one. He's the one we're keeping. He was the one that people were like, yeah, no, he's probably going to go. He's probably going to go on waivers. And this is better than waivers, honestly. Dallas, you guys got yourself a player who works really hard and who puts in work in the gym and everything, but who just can't really translate on the ice. There's a reason why he couldn't crack the Leafs' decor. And now he's a Dallas Star. This is a rebirth for Connor Carrick, and this is a draft pick for the Leafs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plus, thanks for Gaming, and bye.